That camera just almost went over. It's like ridiculous. Oh boy. You know. This is not the place to do this.
Should we bring the black cable?
Yeah, hang on a sec. Let's try and have the game up at some point. When the game's up.
The 3-second cursing delay, right?
It's like a 30-second delay. We really had to pull it. Let's see if we got it. We got sound. Okay, you guys are going out live. Anything you say is on there. Talk a little bit. Talk. Say hi.
Welcome to San Luis Obispo.
All right, you're on. I'm gonna kill this one.
So we're still getting the video feed up and going, but getting ready for opening face-off here at Spanos Stadium, Cal Poly. Got the defending national champion Grand Canyon Lopes.
Taking
Cal
on
Poly
your
Mustangs.
Cal Poly Mustangs. Got Josh Moore here with Mark Lee. Happy to be on.
How are we doing, guys?
Doing great.
You're live.
Set up? Good, we're live?
You're on. It's okay.
We got Cole Lafferty taking on Ryan Brown at the face.
And this is going to be a key matchup for the game, is this face-off battle. It's always key, but possession is going to be huge tonight. And Ryan Brown's had a good start to the season, but then got dinged up and didn't play against Santa Barbara.
Pops it out forward. Looking to run the break. Ground ball, is it going to stay in? Not staying in on the low turf on this Cal Poly Stadium.
Yeah, Brown just trying to do a little too much there. He won clean, didn't have the fast break. They just needed possession.
Grand Canyon looking to run it quickly for the clear. Cal Poly slows him down. Cal Poly's doing a good job slowing the Grand Canyon clear down. Grand Canyon finds an open man. Got a whistle for failure to advance. Going Cal Poly.
Horton looking to push transition. So we weren't sure who was going to be in the cage for the Lopes tonight, but it looks like it's 48 Brad Hookham. So he's a senior, but he's only seen about 40 shots in his 2 years. So this is new territory for him. Shots he's seen in the last couple of years has basically been garbage time, Grand Canyon up big. So we'll see how he can handle the pressure.
Cal Poly subbing in their offensive middies. I'm sure Coach Del Rio would love to get an established possession here as the game starts.
Yeah, we were talking to Coach before the game, and that was certainly one of his keys. It's maintaining possession, not letting the Lopes' high-powered offense get on track. I don't know if that's the first shot he was looking for. Lefty on the run, but misses high, and Cal Poly's got the backup.
That was Sorelli with that lefty dodge down the alley.
Ooh. Good quickness from Go Clay.
Cal Poly backs it up. Setting up a drive from Max. Looking for a little pick play.
Another shot high and wide.
Cal Poly's fielding a young offense this year.
Yeah, that's what looking like. It's going with Gosselin, the one's returner, sophomore. Go Clay, and then is it 3 is the Tregeezer? It's our third attackman. Mitch Stickney with the ball. He's been out early this season, so this is his first action coming back from a minor injury.
Drive down the alley. Ball's coming up top.
So defensively, Grand Canyon's usual MO is they really prefer not to slide. It's not an exotic defense. It's one-on-one matchups, and they try to have their defenders win those matchups and just not slide. It's a little unnerving at first. Teams are so used to playing quick sliding defenses that a lot of times you go and you've got open space.
Coach Rapkin's taking the "don't create their offense for him" philosophy.
Yeah.
Looks like the refs just threw the shot clock on. It's a 30-second shot clock.
Way outside.
Ooh.
That's popcorn for Hookham. His first save of the day.
Grand Canyon looking to run the break. They got numbers.
Oh.
Couldn't quite complete the pass to that low attackman.
When Greniak with the bobble fights hard to get it back. And Lopes settle it up. Oh. Almost steps over.
Ooh. Good physical play there. Keeps it in.
Mustangs need to settle back in now.
And Canyon getting the ball back. Looking to sub their offensive middies in through the midfield.
So much like their defense, Grand Canyon's offensive philosophy is pretty simple. They don't have a lot of exotic schemes. Not going to be a ton of ball movement. It's going to be a strong one-on-one drive and shoot, or one pass and shoot. It hasn't been complicated, but obviously it's been effective considering they've won 2 national championships in the last 3 years.
And Coach, when we watched the championship game from last year, Grand Canyon was looking to do quite a lot of invert. I think that worked well for him to throw off the Chapman defense.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see quite a bit of invert today. When Greniak with the drive. So when Greniak is the Canadian lefty, one of their few big scorers returning from last year. They lost Balistreri, of course, All-American, and 5 of their other 9 returning top scorers. So when Greniak's really going to have to carry the load tonight, I would guess.
Some great on-ball defense there from Tunney. Grand Canyon looking to set up a play. Identifying that they have an offensive midfielder stuck on defense in Stickney. Kapali gets the switch. We got one Greniak. Oh, he finds the open man right in the center.
Oh, nice save from Epstein. Off the leg. He'll take it.
Kapali looking to clear it here as Grand Canyon subs their middies out.
That's a big confidence builder for Epstein. We talked a little bit about Grand Canyon's unknowns in the goal. Epstein, first year as the starter, got a 4-game stint last year when Sean Peel was injured. Really got his confidence up there. Had a really nice game against Cal in the regular season to help Cal Poly get that victory. But the job's all his this year. So he's carried the load well so far against Nevada and Santa Barbara, and even against Utah in a loss. And expecting good things from him tonight.
Gokley taking another shot. Good save by Hookham.
Yeah. Good save, but that's not exactly the shot I think Cal Poly's looking for. It's not from a bad spot on the field, but goalie had never had to move his feet, never had to change his vision. He knew who had the ball the whole time and just ate that one up.
Grand Canyon finds the open deep hole on the offensive side of the field for the clear.
Another save from Epstein.
Grand Canyon looking to push it in this odd number situation.
Strange Clark didn't.
With Greniak with the ball.
Clark had a nice opportunity to go for a goal there, but pulled it behind. Maybe wasn't on his favored side. He's another one of the many Canadians on the Grand Canyon squad. We know they all tend to have strong one-handed tendencies.
Grand Canyon with the ball up top. Going to start their offensive motion. Working it through X. Cal Poly's really got it packed in on defense.
Sugo with the hard D. Nice feed, nice shot.
Good goal there by Clark on the right wing.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of space there, but he had just enough to get his hands free and get the shot. Cal Poly's defense is going to have to be a little tighter on those guys when they're 5 and 5 above the cage. It's just a little too close. Too much pressure to put on Epstein in that case.
We got Brown and McLafferty at the face. Brown won this last face forward. Looks to go backward.
Oh,
McLafferty gets the ball. Grand Canyon gets it. Looking to push it on offense here.
nice swing play from 5. It's Jordan Vicente, one of the returners.
Grand Canyon content to sub their middies and set up their 6-on-6 offense.
Yeah, the Lopes are pretty deliberate in sixes. They'll definitely push the transition, look for those broken opportunities, but if it's not there early, they're going to settle it up, slow it down, take their big drive, try to find that guy open on the backside. It's pretty simple, but like we mentioned, it's been very effective for them.
Grand Canyon's getting some direction from Coach Rapkin from the sideline. They're going to bring the ball behind.
Cruz taking it down. Cal Poly with the switch.
It looks like they're not inverting down here, bringing a pull down.
Yeah.
That's Hoover's the LSM.
Got to make sure they're not ball watching. A lot of heads staring at the ball on that one.
There's Whitney on Greniak.
Yeah. Strong lefty drive, a little behind the back action.
And we got that 30-second shot clock on.
Yeah, we might see that. We might see that quite a bit tonight from both squads. Cal Poly's going to try and slow it down a bit, most likely. Grand Canyon's pretty deliberate in sixes, so we may have some shot clock this evening.
Quick drive up top.
Oh, and that's the big shooter when Greniak with the lefty rip from outside. That's what that guy can do, and that's the trouble covering the Lopes, because that was from about 15 yards.
That's another good example of how a quick release can sometimes be better than putting an extra few miles an hour on that shot.
Yeah, was that stick side high, J-Mo?
I think so.
It was definitely high. I don't think it was stick side high. Right. Mustang's in need of a possession here.
Last face, it was more of a 50-50 scrum. We'll see how this one turns out. And Brown goes early. Grand Canyon ball.
First jump of the half. Brown gets stuck down on D. We'll see if Grand Canyon tries to take advantage of that.
Each team gets 3 of those pre-face-off violations before it's a penalty and a 30-second man up for the other team. Looks like Grand Canyon's done subbing. Defender steps onto the field. And we'll see what the Lopes have for the Mustang defense. They're finding their midi who has a short stick defender on him.
Looks like they're finally going into the invert. Little wing dodge maybe. Peterson.
Coach, it's interesting how a lot of teams try to play this invert from down low. You know, some teams will try to zone it up, stay man.
Oh, nice feed to the
another
crease,
kick
but
save.
he bobbles it. Pick up from Whitney. Yeah, we'll come back to that invert it, because I'm sure Grand Canyon's going to talk or use that a little more. Long pass to Hoblitzel, and he has a hard time corralling it, and it goes out. Those are going to hurt tonight for the Mustangs. They really need to, hit 80% or more on clears to have a good shot at the upset in this game. Throwing uncontested passes out of bounds is going to be a death sentence for Mustangs' chances.
Yeah, that'll absolutely kill your momentum. Failing to clear a few times in a row will really wear down your defense as the game goes on.
And they struggled with that against Utah a couple weeks ago. They controlled possession most of the first half against the Utes, had more shots, weren't putting them in the cage, but were really in that game. Then there just came a stretch in the second quarter where they couldn't clear the ball 3-4 times. Just ended up playing too much defense and giving the Utah Utes too many chances. Another invert, quick drive this time. Oh, and he just gets the wrister off. 19 for Beersen. One of the San Diegans instead of the Canadians. And coach calls a timeout on the 3-goal Grand Canyon run to start the game. So this situation, coach just trying to stem the tide a little bit. Still got a lot of time in the game, obviously, 50 minutes almost. But Mustangs are going to have to get some possession. And when they get that possession, they're going to have to work for good shots. They got a couple freshmen, probably a little amped up for this big game in the stadium. Parents in the house, and they've just been pulling the trigger in spots when they really didn't have a good shot. You got a brand new goalie in Hookham for the Lopes, and allowed him to kind of get his feet underneath him and get a little confidence with those early saves. Wasn't the best start for the Mustangs, so let's hope they can gain some possession and settle down here and get a couple goals in.
I'm sure Coach Davrio, as an offensive coach, really wants his young offense to get the ball in all their sticks, everyone to get comfortable, and then really start going to the cage.
And if I've seen anything that was a bit of an Achilles heel in the first two games that were in San Luis, I didn't see the Santa Barbara game, but that was part of the offensive problem, is just settling for weak angled shots. And when you got a squad full of freshmen and sophomores that have scored those shots in high school, it takes a while for them to get used to the fact that they're not going to go in at this level. You really got to take that extra step towards the middle and give yourself more goal to shoot at.
Look like Cal Poly's going with what we called the skinny face-off set with the long pole on the face. It's Ackroyd with Horton and Ben Smith on the wings.
Yeah, we'll see if he actually tries to win this clamp or just gives him the clamp and turns it into a ground ball scrum. Lopes win it cleanly to go back to clear. See if the Mustangs can break the clear here and get the ball back. Over the top, guy going deep. Yeah, he's open.
Lopes got a man open far side. Not able to take advantage. Lopes are getting more direction from the sideline. They sub their middies in. Whitney playing hard out on Wingreniak.
Griniak brings him behind the cage. We all know he's coming back to his left. Nice early slide.
Great slide by Horton.
Senior captain Andrew Horton creating that one-handed wrap check. Gosselin gave it up a little bit too early there. Needed to draw his defender a bit more. But at least the Mustangs get the clear and have a shot at possession. Yeah, maybe that's the tactic the Cal Poly defense needs to do. Grand Canyon's so deliberate at times, they just kind of lull you to sleep. It can be frustrating.
Cal Poly looking to slow it down.
I think we mentioned earlier, Stickney hadn't played yet this year. He's going to need to get a couple of goals for the Mustangs, give them a shot in this one. Nice dodge.
Yost.
Way too far out from Stickney. I was about 17. It was dead center, but I was about 17 yards out, really early in the possession, and just again, Cal Poly kind of showing their jitters right now.
Long pull right there, not able to get the ball. And Grand Canyon will settle in. Looks like Cal Poly's got a offensive midi stuck on D. Couldn't quite get subbed off.
Burko really has to recognize that one. I mean, he had a long pull down with him, and he still managed to get trapped on defense. That's just lack of recognition, lack of paying attention on that one. Peterson with the drive.
Tunney with the defense.
Yeah, he still got it. Little ball fake from Peterson.
Another shot clock.
Yeah, that's pretty early.
Third shot clock this game already.
Yeah.
And it's only a shot that goes in, hits the goalie, or hits the pipe.
Another early slide from the Mustangs. Good
or
battle.
a change of possession will turn off that shot clock.
Yeah.
This is 50-50
Mustangs
ground
haven't picked it
balls.
up yet, so shot clock should still be on.
Grand Canyon comes up with it.
Grand Canyon.
They look to
pulls
move it
out.
quick.
There it is.
Nice shot.
Cal Poly never got possession on that, so the shot clock stayed on. It's the right call from the officials.
Refs yelling up at the booth for 5 seconds on the
Yeah.
clock. We'll see how quickly they can get that set up.
Yeah, all Mustangs looking to do in a situation like this is throw it down to the goal and hope something good can happen off of a screen, or maybe somebody can get a quick grab and a flip shot.
Looks like the booth may be having a little technical difficulties with the clock. Still sitting at 15 minutes.
Lou Sugo with the ball.
There we go.
We'll see if he can put it down near the crease. Dumps it up to the crease.
Oh!
It's free on. That was dangerous. Goalie mishandled it. He got up through all the players, but Grand Canyon came up with it to kill the opportunity and go into the first quarter.
Grand Canyon 3, Cal Poly 0.
Well, we knew coming into this, Grand Canyon hasn't played yet this season, but obviously they're the favorite coming in as the defending national champion. Still ranked number 1, even though they haven't played a game yet. So the pressure was on the Mustangs a little bit, and they showed some jitters in that first quarter. We'll see if they can settle down. And I think the key right now is going to be they got to work for a better shot, because they have taken some pretty unlikely to go in shots. Hookham has shown that he can save the things he should save, and they're going to have to work a little harder to get something in tighter, a little more likely to go in.
Yeah, a save by the goalie is just about the worst turnover. You pass it to your breaking midi, and they're running a break the other direction.
That was a lot of defense for the Mustangs that quarter too. We'll see if Ryan Brown comes out for the second quarter face-off. That was one of the key matchups I had for the game, Josh, is Ryan kind of winning possessions for the Mustangs, giving them extra possessions. He's been banged up this season and missed the last couple games, but he was going to give it a go today. Took the first 2 and then didn't take the third. So we'll see if that was just a one-time thing or if he's maybe down for the game.
So it looks like Brown is going out for the face.
That's good news for the Mustangs. Brown's stats last year in 2017 weren't spectacular. First time taking that many face-offs, I'm sure he came in at around 60% or about 55%. But so far this year in his 2 games, he was close to 80, and one of those games was against Utah. So that's a good sign moving forward. Brown wins it. Oh, but then gets checked. 35. Ball's loose. I don't know that possession was called, but Grand Canyon's out of the box, so apparently it was. Tunney gets it. Goes back to
Mustangs come up with the ball.
Long outlet
Epstein
pass.
with the long outlet. Finds his man. Finds the LSM. Hooper.
Yeah, Brown limping a little coming off the field. We'll see if how that progresses throughout the game.
Looks like Cal Poly with their midfield lines just about good. All right.
We got Yost, Burko, and Stickney out there on line 1. Yost with a nice split dodge. Gets the ball, gets the Grand Canyon defense rotating.
Mustangs looking to drive on the short stick defender. Yost driving in, drawing the
Nice
double.
feed to the crease. Oh, and he misses a wide open opportunity. Keeps it hot though.
Gokai pushing the side. Stickney looking to draw attention from the defense.
So we got Gokley. He's taking a couple of ill-advised shots. So let's see if he can create some offense and look for a dish in this one. Takes another shot, high and wide.
It's Yost with the ball on the end line. Looking to run a little invert play here. The short stick defender on him. Mustangs looking to move off ball.
Well, this is the best possession the Mustangs have had. They've actually had some good opportunities, some open looks. Burko, open on the wing.
Finds his man at X. Cutter's not open. Mustangs swinging the ball. Finding Gosselin.
You know, since Grand Canyon does like to keep things simple defensively and they trust their one-on-one defense, Cal Poly's going to have to win a couple one-on-one matchups and not just get the shot off, but actually put it in. Or Grand Canyon's just not going to change their D. They're just going to stay in it, keep it simple, force you to beat them one-on-one. Probably could have drawn flag on that little hold.
I think what Coach Davrio would like about this possession is I think every player's touched the ball. They're getting some open looks.
Stickney puts it in.
Stickney with the shot. Off stick, low. That's a great placement, especially on the slow turf.
Yeah, great placement. Not a lot of speed, but it was a quick release. He had a screen. Goalie probably didn't pick up the ball very quickly. And it's not always about speed. It's about putting it in the right spot and making the goalie move in the cage and changing his eye level. The goalie had a lot to follow there and wasn't able to pick the ball up. That was big for the Mustangs. That gets them right back into this. 3-1 with 11:54 to go in the second quarter.
Get ready to pull back out there.
We go back to the face.
Once we go, pull back. Okay, now pull back. There you go.
Looks like McLafferty wins it forward.
Wins it forward. Neither one of the face-off guys for either team is going to be much of a threat offensively. McLafferty and Brown, there wasn't a single point between the two of them all of 2017. That's a lot of time on the field when you're taking 70-80% of your team's face-offs and don't pick up even an assist. So I wouldn't expect to see the team sliding to either face-off guy tonight.
Yeah, you really want to trust your goalie to stop that shot rather than having your face-off guy feed it down to one of your attackmen who are going to be your better offensive players.
Nice
Look for a
cross.
crease feed.
Good pickup.
Picks it up.
Pavlitzel with a nice ground ball for the Mustangs. Gets it up to Whitney, who's got Horton wide open, and that's an easy clear for the Mustangs. That's a big play. Horton's a senior captain, kind of a do-it-all kind of player. Started out as a D-midi, plays offense now. Flag down on the field. Coach, did you see what that was? Probably, is that offsides or too many men? Yeah, they got 7 guys on defense right now. A little 7-on-6 action. Oh, Pat. Gosselin with the shot, wide. And this will be our first man up of the game for either team. I'm assuming it's an offsides, 30 seconds.
Yep, that's what the ref just confirmed. So we'll see the Mustangs man up squad. Coach, what are some keys that you want to look for on a man up?
You know, for Grand Canyon, again, they're not going to rotate much. They're just going to play a packed-in zone and make you hit an outside shot. So the question for me for the Mustangs is, who out there is going to hit that outside shot? Because they're probably not going to find the guy wide open on the crease. Good ball movement.
Mustangs keeping that ball hot.
Go Clay. Again, stuffed. We're on shot number 4. That was at least a better shot. I don't know about in man up, but it was a good opportunity.
Mustangs giving up a wide open clear from the goalie.
Yeah, on man up, that's never good.
You typically want to have everybody grab a man on that the ride on the man up.
Clock might have been winding down on that since it was only a 30-second, but that was a pretty easy clear, even in a even situation. But that's a throwaway. That's going to be an over and back, unless it. Yeah. They touched that one in the offensive box, so just like in basketball. On the restart, they got a big opportunity right now. And Go Clay stuffed again. He has got to put something in, or coach is going to have to go with someone else.
When you're that wide open, you'd love to see your player throw a fake on the goalie. You know, fake high, go low, fake low, go high.
You are not going to get a better opportunity than that, and that absolutely has to be in the back of the net. That was a high-to-high shot on a beautiful opportunity.
It's a great ride by the Mustangs to force that turnover. Goes back to the Lopes.
And not to pick on Go Clay, the freshman, but this is one of those things. We're at 5 shots now and none going in, and you got to reassess when something goes on like that. You can't have a 0 shooting percentage after 5 shots.
Looks like the Lopes are being a little more deliberate on this offensive possession, and playing a little bit more defense this quarter than the first quarter. Vicente with the ball, looking to drive up, drawing some attention from the Mustang defense.
Big number 31. Snowbarger. Grand Canyon's got a couple of big hosses out there on offense. Snowbarger plays the most.
Here's one of those offensive contributors back for Coach Rapkin this year.
They've also got Heimer, an attackman at 270. Don't see too many of those on the lacrosse field. Pretty weak shot from Grand Canyon.
Levitan with the ball, and he gets absolutely mugged. No call from the ref. They're letting him play.
Officials letting him go on that one.
Mustangs reversing the ball, finding their shorty.
Oh, they did get the flag down. Looks like the high official saw it. Official down low didn't call it, but there was a couple of fouls on that play. So here's the time where the transition wasn't there, but the flag's down. Take your time. Find a good shot right now. It's a great opportunity. At worst you're going to get the EMO. So work for a good shot.
Looks like the Mustangs are actually still down a couple men out there. Middy's coming onto the field. That was a pretty great opportunity right there. I'll take that.
That's a nice shot from Stickney. Just a good save from Luca. He's looked good.
We'll see round 2 for the Mustangs. Get it up.
See what the call was. So it's a slash. So we got a 1 minute.
Yeah, that's Coach Hopkins not happy about that. I'm sure he's letting the ref know.
Yeah. It was an aggressive ride from Grand Canyon, but there was a few checks I think you could safely say were out of control in that opportunity. Mustangs in a wheel, then work into a 2-3-1, maybe a 1-3-2. Good movement. EMO's looked good. There you go. There's Gosselin on the shot and the score for the Mustangs.
Coach Taverneau's got to be happy with converting on that opportunity.
Yeah, simple wheel play on the EMO. Every team has it in their arsenal, but every team has it in their arsenal because it's effective and hard to cover when you're man down. You know, just moving the ball against the grain of the defense, keeping it hot, and you got a nice little shot on the right wing from Gosselin. Momentum shifting over to the Mustangs.
Brown and McLafferty again at the face.
Yeah, that's been the story so far. McLafferty gets it out. Horton.
Wingman.
Horton with a nice play in space. It's a battle out there from the wings. Grand Canyon releases out of the box early. Possession had never been called. I'm pretty sure that's the second time they've done that, but the first time they got called.
There we go play, converting.
There it goes. High to high, but it was off stick side, and a good quick release in that case.
It's always hard for the goalies to pick those up. The shooter drops his stick, holds it behind his body.
Yeah, good ball movement on that one. Gosselin could have taken the shot himself, but was unselfish, went one more, gave it to the wide open guy. And
What the score is. 3-3. Because they're not seeing it.
okay. So that ties it up at 3. Mustangs score 3 after the Grand Canyon started off with a 3-goal run.
McLafferty gets the ball out to his wingman. Lamy couldn't find the point. Grand Canyon with the off.
Snowbarger corrals the bad pass, but the Lopes keep possession.
After leading 3-0 coming into the second quarter, it's been all Cal Poly this quarter. Now 3-3, 6 minutes left.
Yeah, that's a good sign for just for having a good game. It's going to go the full 60 minutes. You know, big difference between 3 and 4 goals. 4 goals it's kind of the marker in lacrosse where you start getting a little worried. But you know, 3 goals is nothing. That can happen in a minute or two. Cal Poly pulls it back even.
Tunney with the tip.
Yeah, Tunney's really active out there.
Margaret gets the ball.
Played a lot of LSM last year, but they've had to bring him down to close D after some key graduations. So he's going to be big. They got a strong defense down there with Sugo and Tunney and Whitney. Early slide off the invert, and it's a bad pass. That's going to go over. That's going to be Cal Poly ball on the over and back. And then he's got a wide open man in the middle.
Levitan.
Oh, and the shot doesn't even get past the defender. Deflected off the
Too
defender.
much wind up there.
Yeah.
Good ride. Cal Poly attack. Gosselin comes out with the ground ball.
Nice hustle play by Gokhale and Gosselin to get that ball back after the missed shot from Levitan. You know, never mind D. Mitty taking a shot at times, but 12 yards is probably not where it wants to come from. I think Levitan probably could have given up to one of the attackmen on the edge right there. Cal Poly settles in now, putting a little pressure on the
Looks like they have
Grand Canyon D.
all their offensive middies out. Setting up their offense. Stickney drives on Regan. Over the ball.
Looks like Grand Canyon might be in a little bit of a zone here, Coach. We'll see. They didn't follow the ball that last time they went behind X. See if Cal Poly recognizes and adjusts.
So Coach, what are the keys for trying to attack a zone?
You know, you're really looking to kind of flood a certain area and make it really difficult for one guy to cover two people. So it becomes a little bit like man up. You need quick ball movement, skip passes, and just find that guy that's open in the zone, either because they didn't rotate right or because you overloaded it, and you've got two and they've only got one to cover those two. So clock on for Cal Poly, so they're going to need to get a shot on Cage. Oh, and Stickney just throws it away
That's
uncontested.
unfortunate.
So the zone pays
Regan
dividends
picks
for
it up,
Grand Canyon.
looking to push early. You can clear early without the Rye being able to set up by the other team. That's usually the path of least resistance.
So Regan from Grand Canyon with the nice one-legged purple pants. I'm not really sure the style choice behind that one. I don't think he's got the excuse that he's a face-off guy either.
Patented Markley shade there, folks.
There's a lot of guys out on the field that think they're Kobe Bryant at times. All right, we'll see what the Grand Canyon can put together on this possession. They really haven't had the ball in offense this quarter. I don't know if they've had a shot in the second. And they still don't, because 23 gets stripped right before the release. Peterson,
Back check.
nice back check.
Funny.
Yeah.
They call interference off ball. Goes back to Grand Canyon.
Partisan crowd here at Spano Stadium didn't like that. I know we're shooting from the good side of the stadium, so for you guys online, you can't really see, but it's a good crowd here tonight. They're all on this side, so it looks empty, but definitely 1,000 people in the house. Oh, 10 with the outside rip.
Clark hits that off-stick hip. It's a great placement on that shot. Looks like Epstein got a piece of it, but it ricocheted into the goal anyway.
Yeah, that's frustrating for a goalie.
It's at 4-3 Grand Canyon, 1 minute and 53 seconds left in this first half.
It's like the big shooters for Grand Canyon. We knew about when Greniak coming in. Clark looks like their other big option. He was their 7th leading scorer last year, but he only had 11 points, so he didn't see a ton of time. They're obviously asking him to have a bigger role this year.
Brown comes up with the face.
Ryan Brown's doing well.
Orton with Lamy on him.
Gabriel with the timeout.
It's a cagey timeout by Coach Davrio.
So we got 1:36 in the quarter. So Coach, I don't think we'd had a timeout yet. So both coaches had 2. No need to take those into halftime with you, because you don't get to come in the third quarter with them. So we'll see what Cal Poly can set up, and then Coach still has another one if the play doesn't go the way he likes it.
Hey guys, let's see if we can pan out and show the crowd. Just widen out. Widen out, show the scoreboard like we were on the scoreboard at the end of the quarter.
See if we can't get you folks online. Shot of some of the fans here on this near side of the stadium.
Yeah, first game in Spanos in a long time. We used to have some games here back in the old days, back before they redid this side of the stadium and kind of upgraded it, and then made it too costly for us to play here. So it's nice to get back in.
I think we played
Chapman.
2 games in the stadium here my senior year back in 2007. We played Chapman at night, and I believe we played Sonoma State in a day game.
Yeah, that Chapman, I remember that one. That was a big upset that year for the 07 team, and it was another big crowd that kind of got the team going, and you guys started off behind, if I remember, and were able to come back and get the win.
I believe that was during your second retirement?
That was during my second retirement. We'll call that hiatus number 2, 07, 08 years. So for those of you out there listening, we got Josh Moore and myself. Josh was the assistant coach for many years, and I was the Cal Poly coach for up until 2015. So we'll try not to be total homers, but we do have a bit of a rooting interest in the Mustangs. We'll see if Grand Canyon comes back out in the zone after that timeout. Looks like they are. So you would think coach would have had something drawn up and expecting that zone.
Looking like they're trying to attack the space in between the
Gets the shot off.
D-Midi and
it's
the
going to be
pole.
a chase out, and Grand Canyon's going to win
Looks
that
like because
run
of
out.
the angle, Grand Canyon's able to chase that down.
Sticking just not recognizing that he had no backup on that. Looks like Mustangs might be going into a little 10. No, looked like they were trying to put on the 10-man, but it didn't pan out, so they had to slow it down.
And Grand Canyon clears it. They're going to run the break.
Oh, and
Coach
Coach Rapkin uses his timeout.
Ooh.
Yeah.
If that pass connected, he may have regretted that.
Nothing worse as a coach calling a timeout when your team scores right after. It's happened. It's happened to us all once or twice. So now we got the reverse side. Rapkin and Grand Canyon with the timeout, coming back out with 1 minute left in the second quarter. We'll see what Cal Poly wants to do on defense. You know, Grand Canyon's an interesting team offensively because they are so simple. You know, you just kind of have to decide if you're going to slide early and try and put a little pressure on them, or kind of lay back. But they have been vulnerable to the zone in the past. And I know back in one of your years, Josh, 2013, when you and I were coaching, I'm pretty sure it's the only game in the history of Cal Poly where we ran a zone defense for an entire 60 minutes. We never came out of it, and they never really changed it up and made us come out of it. So they are vulnerable, but when Greniak would have to be accounted for, because obviously he's got a big outside rip. So we'll see if Mustangs want to throw a little zone at the Lopes.
Yeah, and zone doesn't mean relax on defense. Definitely still have to be putting pressure out.
Yeah, you gotta keep track of who the big shooters are, and you can't pack it in and just let them rip from 12 yards out, because that's going to put too much pressure on Epstein. Looks like they're staying in their man.
Cruz with the ball. Paul Blitzel on him.
Cruz out of your old school, coach, at Grossmont in San Diego. A gross monster on the field. Nice check.
Shout out to the Foothillers.
Alley dodge. Down through X. Good ball movement from the
Great
Lopes, and
helmet
a nice
by
save.
Epstein.
You know, that's from what we've seen from Epstein in his 4 games as a starter last year and his first 3 games this year, is he's really good on those interior shots. That's where he shines. You know, he sometimes struggles to pick the ball up on the outside shots, but when he just is reacting to those in tight situations, he does really well. He uses his whole body and gets a save on that one.
Well, you know, he did pick some things up from first team All-American Sean Peel, who always played great body in the cage. You know, he knew his angles and he used his body to his advantage.
Yeah, everyone remembers Sean Peel, nicknamed Dad, and certainly Epstein and Peel have a bit of the same frame, use the whole body. So we got 21 seconds left here in the half. Grand Canyon with the timeout, and
Up 4-3.
trying to get a key goal going into halftime. Mustang's gonna feel pretty confident if they go in at half down only 4-3. So if they can stop them in these last 21 seconds, they're gonna feel pretty good about it going into half, coming back from a 3-0 deficit at the start.
So we got Clark with the ball in the right wing. Sugo on him.
Down pick. Clark still got it.
Good slide
Got
by
the
that.
switch onto the shorty. Going a little big little there, but he kind of gave up the ball before he had to. Big number 31 gets stripped.
Snowbarger.
Just get it out of there. There you go. And the half's going to come to a close. 4-3, Grand Canyon.
Definitely avoids the shot. Going in the half with a little bit of momentum here.
Yeah, that was definitely a tale of two quarters. All Grand Canyon in the first, all mostly Mustangs in the second. And we got 30 minutes of lacrosse to see who's going to come out victorious. If it's going to be Grand Canyon opening up the season as defending national champs with a victory, or Mustangs getting a big win, go to 3-1. So I think we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll see you back in a few minutes.
You can put this deal on. Go ahead, Jeff.
Probably still on. kind of garbage time blowouts. But Bucum certainly didn't disappoint. So I don't know if the plan was to split or just give him the whole game or kind of wait and see. But my guess would be that they'd stick with him because he had a nice half.
You were off again. So.
Yeah, that was our best stuff too.
You know what? Wait about 10 seconds, and then I'd say go. Yeah, we'll go ahead and go. You're on again.
Okay, we're back up at Spano Stadium here in San Luis Obispo. We may or may not have been up the last 2 minutes, so we'll just say the exact same things again. All right, Josh?
Sounds good.
We're minute and 20 out from the third quarter. Started the second half, and recap the first half. We had Cal Poly with 2 goals in transition and a nice looking EMO to get their 3 goals. And Grand Canyon scored all four of theirs and settled 6-on-6. You know, good players making nice drives and finding the open guy on the feed. Quick release shots, and they squeezed in 4 past Epstein after a good first half.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Grand Canyon sticks with Bucum and goal, or if they try to do some sort of split with another one of their relatively untested goaltenders.
Yeah, so that was a big unknown for Grand Canyon coming into this game. They have 4 goalies on the squad, 2 freshmen, and two others that had only seen about 40 shots in garbage time last year. So they really
are
untested.
sticking with Bucum and goal. 48's trotting out.
Yeah, and even if they were planning a split, I think Hukum performed really well in the first quarter, so he might have changed some minds. If there was any question, Coach Rapkin is not one of those coaches who likes to divulge anything at all, so he wasn't, he didn't give us any info on his team. So if there's any Grand Canyon fans out there and we mispronounce names, don't blame us. Tell your coach to tell us how to say them next time.
This is a best effort.
Yeah, we're just gonna botch him on purpose for that. Wengergergergerniak. All right, here we go.
Brown and McLafferty at the face.
Same 2.
Brown gets
Brown
out.
with the win. Oh, but he gets stripped, and
Immediately stripped by Lamy.
Grand Canyon with the pickup, and they'll have the first possession of the third quarter. '23 Peterson's another one that's seen a lot of time offensively for Grand Canyon. In past years, Grand Canyon is not a team that's gone real deep into their bench, and they can do that because they do play a pretty deliberate style offensively. They're not going to burn through a lot of players because they're spending running so much. So they'll probably keep it to five middies. I don't even know if they've been running 2 different lines. They're just kind of cycling in their top 5 guys.
Looks like it. Maybe a few different middies on offense here. He's got Walter that just came in. Peterson's got the ball, and he's got Brown D'ing him up. I just want to see if he can test the face-off guy on defense. Horton picks him up.
Yeah. Swinging it behind. They like those down picks with the middies coming down to set a pick for the attackman. Snowbarger's looks pretty good out there. He's definitely, he gets back checked by Tony there. Oh, and a nice pickup. Is that Subo?
That's Hubers. LSM finds his point man. Goslin's unable to find any open men.
That's a good decision by Goslin. That wasn't there. Slowed it down. Got the possession. Miles Hubers, yeah, that was a nice GB from Hubers.
And Snowbarger got a little lazy there. Let his stick hang.
Yeah.
Tony took advantage.
When you're used to being the biggest guy in the field, you probably feel like you can post guys up, and I'm sure he's gotten away with that at times in his career, but Tony's a good player, and he picked his pocket on that one.
Looks like Cal Poly's got close defenseman Sugo on offense, seeing if he can't
Run a little rope-a-dope, but no advantage gain.
Ismeti, unfortunately, can get the advantage. Starley with the ball up top. This is a down to the attack. Cal Poly settles into their 2-3-1 set.
Sorelli's shown some really good moves on the midi drive, but again, Grand Canyon's slow to slide, so you can beat them on that initial juke, but you got to actually make them slide, and that's just popcorn. That's a 17-yard shot from outside that's just not going in.
Cal Poly is able to stop the quick break, forcing Grand Canyon to jump into a long there.
Cal Poly just stays onside.
Vicente with the shot wide. Still Margaret picks it up on the end line. See if they don't want to push the quick transition. Looks like they're...
Yeah, they had something there, but Grand Canyon pulls it back out and slows it down.
The defense tends to kind of take a little breath when that ball goes out of bounds. Get a quick break. Sometimes it's a good time to actually drive to the cage, catch them off guard.
Peterson with the alley dodge, or it comes back through the middle. Ball on the ground.
Granier picks it up.
Yeah. Nice pickup from
Doesn't look like he's
Granier.
able to find anyone open.
Nice back check from Sonny again.
Stickney playing defense.
And Stickney with
Does he throw it away or is it a
his
tip?
second uncontested turnover of the game, just throws it out of bounds. It at least gives Mustangs an opportunity to set up their ride. Yeah, that's at least 3 caused turnovers for the night from Tunney, so he's having a good day.
Mustangs riding pretty hard here.
Tunney over the midline, maybe with a little 10-man. And a big hit from the Mustangs. Hayden Fair. The bowling ball.
See if Hoblitzel can't score here.
Oh, and a really nice feed. Hoblitzel wound up like he was going to take the shot from outside. And found the nice dish to Treviza right on the crease. That's the nicest play of the game.
As a goalie, you never want to see a long pole winding up because you have absolutely no idea where that ball's going. Pretty cagey move there to pull it back, find the wide open man on the crease.
Yeah, hard to say if Hoblitzer really knew he was giving him the fake there or just saw the wide open man and made the adjustment, but it was a really nice play. Started by Thayer on the big hit in the clear. There's a tough-nosed D. Mitty out of Idaho for the Mustangs, coming in as a junior. He's fully capable of making those kind of plays often. He's an athletic kid in the open field.
See if the Mustangs can't take advantage of this momentum.
First tie game since 0-0, so we got a ball game, folks.
Lafferty kicks it out.
He came out again.
Grand Canyon leaves the box early.
That is the 3rd time that Grand Canyon has come out of the box, and now they're going to compound it with a foul for delay a game by throwing the ball. That's just not, I mean, there are dumb plays, but coming out of the box has been a rule since they've been in U10. I don't quite understand how they've done that 3 different times tonight.
Yeah, it's looking to play the edge of the rules there. If you can scoop it while you're still in the box, pick the ball up, then it's a legitimate play.
Yeah, but he wasn't able to gain possession before his momentum took him out. So a bad turnover for the Lopes and a man-up opportunity for Mustangs to take their first lead of the game.
Yeah, and what the ref got him on there was when you have the ball in your stick and they blow the whistle, you have to drop it right there as a change of possession. If you roll it even a few feet away, it's really on the ref's discretion on whether or not to throw the flag there. It looks like Grand Canyon got dinged for it.
Yeah, definitely. If it happens to you, it's a nitpicky call. If it happens to the other team, you're thankful. But yeah, I don't know if that one needed to get called, but it was. So here's the Mustangs on the man up. They'll only have 30, of course. And they go back into that wheel that worked for them the last time. No angle, mom goal, side of the net for Sorelli. Oh no, Tregeezer, excuse me. They at least set up the EMO ride this time, but released out of the box so they get the easy clear.
Yeah, the Mustang attackmen really have to grab a man there. You had Gokhale in the center of the field, not really playing anybody. I'm sure Coach Gabriel goes over that with him in practice.
Yeah, and they've got Gokhale stuck on defense now, and I don't think that's probably his forte as a 160-pound attackman. We'll see if Grand Canyon picks up on that and tries to take advantage. And as I say that, they immediately look to go into an invert against Gokhale, so they were able to see it. I don't know why Cal Poly's not trying to switch early on this one. Slide comes from Hobeltzer. When Graniak,
Whitney playing
he's gonna,
tough D on him.
and he
And he
goes
gets
out.
the turnover.
And Tunney almost looked for the back check again. They're going to just start sliding from behind on when Graniak, because once he goes left, he does not look behind him and holds onto the ball for quite a while. So he is definitely vulnerable to getting kicked.
Ben Smith bringing the ball up, reversing it.
Sugo getting pressured, but makes the nice move to Stickney. Over to Sorelli, and the Mustangs get the clear. 4-4, 8:30 to go in the third. Mustangs looking for their first lead of the game after battling back from a 3-0 deficit.
I think the Mustangs are playing pretty physical lacrosse right now. Playing good defense.
Yeah, they're turning up the heat on the rides, which I think is a good call from Coach Dabrio. You know, this is Grand Canyon's first game of the year. They don't seem to have a lot of hard rides in their arsenal, so they may not be used to in practice. Oh, and a beautiful move. Yost gets by his man. No slide from Grand Canyon. And the deke on the goalie gets him to bite and puts it over his shoulder.
Yeah, Yost is able to get by Vicente. They're all little dip and dunk. That's what you got to do when you're inside. Make the goalie think you're going one way and shoot where he's not.
And that's what I was talking about earlier in the game that the Mustangs were going to need to do is they're going to beat their man. They need to beat their man one-on-one, but then finish. It's not enough to just beat them and then miss the shot wide. So with that drive right there, no slide from Grand Canyon, and you know, that's when the coach has to decide maybe we have to change things up.
It's tough to leave your short stick defensive midi on an island there, especially on a guy like Yost who's been showing that he's able to shake that first man.
Brown with the win. Yeah, and I get the idea of, you know, sending your slides late or at least not early, not creating the offense for the other team, but when a guy's 7 yards in front of the cage, somebody's got to go.
The Mustangs slowing this down, subbing on their offensive middies.
Yost with the ball now, feeling good after that last move. So that's two freshmen right there on this line with Stickney making some.
It looks like Grand Canyon's jumping back into that zone defense. See if they can't give the Mustangs a little taste of their own medicine over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing a zone from Grand Canyon's D in the past, but we've played them quite a few times, so you know they might have shown it once or twice, but certainly not routinely.
Oh, bounce shot.
Stickney with an extreme angle.
That's
a shot. Yeah, that's a shot. They're going to give it back to Cal Poly. You're allowed to bobble the ball out of bounds if it was a shot. Sorelli doesn't even know the rule. He was trying to get back on defense. Didn't realize they were going to maintain possession of the ball.
He's just being safe, coach.
Yeah. Good call. Good call from the freshman. You can always come back to the O, right?
Stickney drawing some attention from the defense. It's always an interesting decision going into a zone with a relatively untested goalie. Maybe Rapkin's looking to see if the Mustangs can't beat him from outside.
Yeah, Hookums look good. Yost with another dish, another mom goal.
Ball hitting the side of the net. Hookum picks it up, looking to clear. Mustangs dropping into their ride.
Yeah, both of those shots, one from Sorelli, one from Stickney, I'd say that just settling for too much of an extreme angle on the zone. You know, they've got the lead now. they are in control. They can spend as much time as they need to try to find that guy open on the crease and break down that zone a little bit. They didn't need to take those shots quite so early in the possession.
Looks like Grand Canyon's got a long stick defender on offense looking to sub him out.
Sugo on Clark, that's a good matchup. Both of those are strong players. Both played well tonight.
Sugo, one of those rare left-handed defenders, giving his offensive player a little different look than they're probably used to.
Stickney down on D,
Playing some good, tough defense.
putting all 160 pounds into it.
Coach, he's listed as 170.
Okay.
I'm sure he'd be.
Oh, five goes for the fancy between the legs, but it doesn't come through for him.
Levitan's able to get out.
With the backhanded scoop pass cross field.
Gets up to his attackman for Geezer.
Tunney stays down on the offensive end. I think listed at 170 automatically means 160, doesn't it, Josh?
I hear the roster does put on 10 pounds, Coach.
Yes. That was a nice save from, that was a nice save from Epstein on the shot down here from Grand Canyon. Little razzle dazzle. Not a bad time to go between the legs. Really had his back to the goal.
I can't say the goalie's ever expecting that shot. Usually looking for the shooter to turn back over their shoulder with a strong hand.
He knows we're on YouTube, so you know he's trying to go viral. But he got stuffed on that one.
Hashtag SportsCenter Top 10.
So back out there with Yost and Sorelli.
Looks like Evan Hunter.
Evan Hunter on the field coming in from the. He's usually an attackman, but came in with the midfield on that one. Maybe coach looking to have Hunter help them break this zone down a little bit as a lefty.
Yeah, he's got a strong lefty shot. Looking to a little bit different look to this zone.
Clock on for the Mustangs, so they got 30, but that's a lot of time. No need to rush.
Right, 5-4 Cal Poly with about 3 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Oh, that's a pretty good look.
There's a low to high shot from Sorelli. It's a good save by Hukum.
Yeah, he saw that one all the way though.
You always want to change planes as a shooter. It's definitely harder for the goalie to pick that up. Good save.
Solid clear from
Vicente.
Grand Canyon.
Bringing it into the offensive zone.
Tunney again with the turnover.
That's probably.
That's number 4, I believe. Unless I missed one earlier, but. Oh, illegal procedure on Grand Canyon.
Say that's playing without a stick.
Yeah, probably playing without a stick.
You gotta have your stick to play.
Oh, little push it from Hunter, but no, pulls it back out.
Looking to push it on the short stick. Sure he wants that one back.
Yeah, best way to break a zone is just to not let them set up in a zone. The Mustangs had a little bit of an opportunity to push and transition there, but chose to settle it up. They do have the lead. 5-4 with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Looks like coach is going with a little bit like a 3-3 here against the zone, kind of like a man upset.
Looks like an offsides call.
I don't know what that was.
Goes the other way.
Somebody's got to stop ball, and nobody. Oh, that is a bad goal from Cal Poly. They cannot give that up. That was just lack of communication on the quick restart. Nobody stopped the ball. And
Vicente on the goal.
Yeah, just an outside shot.
It's okay, well, we gotta help you.
So when you're, as a midfielder, your eyes get real wide as that slide doesn't come. Vicente taking the shot.
That one hurts for the Mustangs. They had possession, had the ball, gave it over on some kind of illegal substitution, something we couldn't quite tell from here, and give up the easy goal on the transition. Let's see if Brown can get it back here for the Mustangs.
Brown wins it forward. McLafferty's able to push him off the ball though. And
35 unable to corral the ground ball even though he was all by himself.
Grand Canyon looking to clear. Hookum's getting some pressure from Gokwe. Still got the ball. Tosses it over his head.
Well, that was an interesting
Able
pass.
to make a successful pass, but Lamy deals with two defenders.
Lamy has a little more success on the pass than he did on the ground ball. Sugo with the strip. But Cruz is able to get back possession after he lost it. Good action between the boxes from the Mustangs. They're putting pressure on, and they're having some success with it.
A lot of hard rides from both teams. Grand Canyon looking to sub. And Peterson with the ball. Likely looking to initiate here on the short stick. 23 on 23.
So we got 30 seconds in the quarter, which is why Grand Canyon was just kind of standing around looking for the last shot of the quarter, but they throw it out of bounds. Is it going to get out?
Connect.
No, it stays in. Corralled by Clark. 17 seconds left. Ball in the turf. Lots of big hits going on. When Greniak and Sugo get tied up. It's getting a little chippy out there, Josh. Oh, and the flag goes down. I don't know who it's on. Frankly, I didn't see enough from either side to draw
Looks
a flag.
like there was
in that
an
situation.
initial push from behind on, I believe it would have been on Grand Canyon, then another push from behind on Cal Poly. We'll see.
I think they're calling it on when Greniak. Getting a little heated out there. Grand Canyon 5-5.
I think it may have been 23. We'll see what the ref says as he comes over here to the
You might
box.
be right.
Just missed it. I almost got the replay.
Yeah, 23 is taking his place in the sin bin. Sean Peterson. 30 seconds, so he called a technical
So
delay of game or
with
something
9
like
seconds left in the quarter, I'm sure Coach Davio will tell his offense to just hold the ball. And when you have possession and it's an uneven situation, like a man up, you have possession at the end of the quarter, at the end of the half, you start the next quarter with the ball in your stick.
Yeah, hard to find much of a shot in 9 seconds, so I would be surprised if Cal Poly just doesn't hold on to this one and go into the fourth quarter man up. Clock's not running. Hopefully the freshman Yost knows the rule as well, and it looks like he does. Nothing will give a coach gray hair like a guy who makes a pass towards the end of the quarter. So if the ball's in the air, that's not possession, and then you face it off. But Cal Poly has it, 5-5, going into the fourth. We got a nail biter here.
All right. Putting on a good show for the crowd here at Spanos Stadium. We're happy to be broadcasting from the press booth.
For the contact call that you got. There you go.
This one was 30.
30 seconds.
Yeah,
A little more. But then can they vary only up to 3 minutes depending on the severity?
It's a little bit of a referee's discretion there on how long to make conduct calls.
Yeah, so we're battling the elements tonight here in San Luis Obispo. It's
Coach, what's your favorite conduct call?
my favorite conduct call.
When you were a coach, out of all your time coaching, were there any that stand out more than others?
Now that's a tough one, Josh. There's a lot of classics over the years, but I don't want to divulge any of our skeletons in our closet conduct penalties. But we've all had a few. Myself more than most coaches probably.
That's just passion right there, Coach.
Yeah. So it's a nice night out here at Spanos. We were talking about battling the elements. Usually a lot of San Diego kids on our Cal Poly team, and once it drops below 60,
It's time to break out the parkas.
Yeah, break out the parkas.
As a San Diego kid myself, I can tell you, I'm very cold right now.
Yeah, we're probably in the low 50s tonight. It's is about as frigid as it gets for us. But all in all, I think everyone's handled it quite well. Field's been in great condition, stadium's been great, and here we go with the fourth quarter. It's going to be a good one.
Austin starting out with the ball. We'll see what the Mustangs have on the few seconds left here on this man up.
Yeah, they've had success with that wheel on the right wing. We'll see. Oh, and it's Stickney. Stickney has had some bad passes tonight. I don't know if he's struggling with the stick or just struggling to get back into the flow after being out the first 3 games of the season, but that was another unforced error. On nothing worse than unforced errors on man up.
I'm sure Stickney wants that one back.
So
5-5 here.
yeah, back to even strength.
You got to stay on the ball.
Just about 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Grand Canyon setting up their offense.
Peterson initiates on the alley, moves it down to X. They have actually been moving that ball through X a little more than, oh, that's just a strong move right there from, is that Peterson?
That was one Graniak.
No, I think it was 23. That was actually, we'll see who comes out of the pile there. Yeah, I think that was 23 actually. Either way.
Good lefty drive, lefty
Yeah.
shot there.
So that's a big goal for Grand Canyon. Puts them up 6-5. Puts the momentum back on the Lopes sideline.
And faceoffs have been pretty even this game.
Yeah, Brown's definitely, if not held his own, probably got a slight advantage, I would guess.
McLafferty gets it out.
Loses
Brady
that
grabs the
one.
ball.
Sugo on
Clark's
Clark.
able to get this ground ball.
Moving screen on the Grand Canyon squad gives Cal Poly the ball back. Goes back through Epstein. Finds Horton in the middle for the easy clear. Little unnecessary slap check, but that's not enough to get called from one Graniak.
It's always your first look on the clears to find that shorty in open space. See if they can't run it over themselves, as Horton did right there.
Yeah, let's see who's going to step up for the Mustangs offensively now that they've fallen back behind by 1. Yost's had a nice night. He's looked good. Stickney, he's been off. I think that's be fair to say. He was, one of their big scorers last year, but I don't think he has any goals on the night, and he might have one. I can't recall, but
Looks
he
like
definitely has some turnovers.
Grand Canyon's still in their zone. Yost initiating.
Gosselin with the ground ball to maintain possession for the Mustangs.
He's looking for that opening on the backside, and unable to find it.
Oh, oh no, stays in. Go Clay.
That was a pretty good check by
Fine.
4. Go Clay
Ball on the turf.
Laney picks it up, looking to run the break the other way. They got numbers, but he doesn't push it.
Yeah, they need to pick up Peterson. He's dangerous from that spot. Grand Canyon with the 1-goal lead settles in. They had Yost try to break down his man a little bit, even though it's against the zone. Sometimes you still got to initiate some offense. It's okay to, take a little one-on-one, but then go with your head up and try and find the open man or the skip pass to beat that zone. But they just couldn't handle the ball, and they ended up giving it away.
Grand Canyon initiating. Cruz with the ball. Finds Snowbarger.
Tony on the big Snowbarger.
Cruz looking to initiate. Drawing a lot of attention, not able to find an open man on the crease though.
Good movement from the Lopes. Snowbarger slows it up again, though. He's going to lose it if he's not careful. Tunney has had the advantage in that matchup tonight.
Looks like Coach Davrio is calling for the shot clock.
Cruz with the alley dodge, moving it back through X. Here's one Greniak driving up his lefty side. Manages to get the shot off.
Even with the
Looked a
tough
little
double team there.
Yeah, that looked like a little Canadian withholding right there, ball to the chest, but I'm a long way away, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. You know those Canadians would never cheat.
Walter on Levitan, draws the slide. Mustangs looking to recover.
19 tries to make the strong move and gets pushed around. Oh, throws it away from Mustangs. That was a nice opportunity.
Oh, there's a flag
Another
down.
flag from Grand Canyon.
Unnecessary roughness on Greniak.
Yeah, I think that might have just been a hit behind the ball. I didn't see it. Late hit or some little action away from the ball. Not a smart play from the junior for Grand Canyon. You know, one of their key offensive players.
As a coach, you never want your players getting a retaliatory flag or even one behind the ball. You know, I'll take one of my defenders playing hard-nosed defense or going for a ground ball, but behind the play, that's tough to stomach as a coach.
Yeah, a big hit within the course of the game, that's one thing, but just no reason for that in a close game like this. That's going to kill you.
That's
Hunter
what Coach
with the
D'Abrio's
lefty
got.
shot.
That's what he's got Hunter in there for. Is that lefty shot from the left wing.
Yeah, and he had some space there. Just didn't put it on Cage. Might have wanted to put that one at the goalie's feet. He might have had one there. Hunter with the skip pass.
Pretty good ball movement here by the Mustangs.
Yeah, they've looked good on man up. And then as I say that, they dropped the ball completely. Here comes the wheel. Hunter! I think that was the changeup, Coach.
Yeah, I'd have to think the goalie didn't see that one. Went right 5-hole on him.
Might have been a bit of a screen, or that really did look like Hunter might have lost the grip on that and it kind of slipped out and got through. But they all count, and
Yep.
that one, they'll take it.
I have to think the goalie wants that one back. But that ties it all up at 6 here. 9:17 left in the fourth quarter.
Lafferty and Brown back to battle at the faceoff X. It's been a good contest between these two all night, even. Brown gets this one going forward, but Grand Canyon's wingman comes in for the GB.
Tuzo.
Yeah, Gattuso with a nice GB in traffic. Here comes Peterson. He's got to pick him up or he's not going to be afraid to shoot.
Fair D'ing up Cruz. As Grand Canyon subs in. Looks like we got Cruz, Peterson, and Walter in for Grand Canyon at midfield.
Peterson's been their main initiator up top, and Andrew Horton just nearly takes the ball from him, but they recover. Oh, that's a tough break for the Mustangs.
Clark deals with the initial check and gets the goal for Grand Canyon. Put him up 7-6, 8:25 left in the fourth quarter.
That's one of those situations where Horton has a nice play, nearly causes a turnover, but because Grand Canyon got it back, it's a bit of an unsettled situation. Just a good feed to the middle, and Mustangs couldn't quite collapse in time. Got the hard bouncer from about 10, 12 yards out. Still 8 minutes, 25 to go, so a lot of time for the Mustangs to get back the one goal deficit. Brown wins this one cleanly. Could be an opportunity. Gives it up to Gossam, but it's not there. Gossam wisely chooses to settle it up.
You'd like to see your faceoff guy draw a little bit more attention there before moving into his point man, but
Yeah.
I think with the LSM on his back, he felt the pressure and gave it up to his open attackman.
Like we mentioned earlier, neither Brown nor McLafferty had a single point last year, so they're not too offensive minded, but that's something as Brown gets better and better at faceoffs as he has been, is he's going to learn to push that upfield a little bit more. Even if you don't take the shot, you might open it up for your wing attackman. Still in the zone from Grand Canyon. They're feeling like it's been successful for them, and it's hard to argue. Mustangs limited to 6 goals at this point.
Yeah, this is a fairly low-scoring game for La Crosse, 7-6 here in the fourth quarter. Especially for Grand Canyon, typically more high-powered offense. They're looking to put up 13, 14, 15 goals in a game. The young Mustang defense is playing pretty well. Hunter just misses that shot wide.
Yeah, that was a good look. That was a good opportunity. And I think Hunter, this is a pretty dry, solid grass surface out there. I know I'm going to sound like an old school coach, but put a couple of those on the ground and see if the goalie can save that bounce shot.
Stickney drawing some attention.
Needs to, that's just not going in. Stickney trying to do way too much against the zone.
Probably not.
Driving on 2 guys with a weak angled shot. It's just not what you need at any point in the game. Nice play from Sugo though on the far wing to get the ball back.
And
Sugo asking for it back, and he takes the goalie's out of the cage after the missed shot.
We got a defender caught down at the end line. Looks like Cal
Sugo
Poly's down
getting
a pole.
sub out through the box.
Yeah. Coach Gabriel's bringing Sugo off. He's got another pole coming in.
Yeah, can't fault him for that. It was a nice opportunity. He was at about 7 yards out. You gotta let it fly. Even as a D-man, just wasn't able to put it on cage, and wasn't the hardest shot in the world, so it didn't even go out of bounds and allow Cal Poly to maintain possession. Grand Canyon picks it back up, and
was an interesting move by the lefty Sugo, switching to his right hand in the middle of the field.
To be fair, he was getting to the middle, but yeah, left it. D-men don't take enough shots as it is, so exactly. I don't know how many offhanded shots he's taken in his career.
Cruz putting some pressure on the Mustang defense.
Peterson with a hard, nice cut, but he drops the ball.
Great cut there.
Timeout from Coach Rapkin. Snowbarger has been a turnover waiting to happen all night. If I'm Cal Poly looking to get the ball back in this last 5 minutes, I'm maybe locking off adjacents when Snowbarger touches that ball and letting Tunney take him one-on-one, because he hasn't maintained possession too well this evening.
Score 7-6 Grand Canyon, 5:18 left in the fourth quarter. Had a good game today.
Yeah, both teams have played well. There's been some mistakes, uncontested passes thrown out of bounds. Unfortunate to see that from the Mustangs, who this is, game 4 of the season for them. Grand Canyon, you kind of expect that in game 1. You're gonna have some new guys playing in new positions. You haven't had maybe a whole lot of time running all your full field stuff. But yeah, for the most part, besides some errant passes on the clears, it's looked good. We've got 5:18 in the game. Grand Canyon up 1, 7-6. No need to panic for the Mustangs. A lot of time left in this one. You don't want to get too crazy on your defensive pressure, but they are going to need to create a turnover, obviously. They look to get the ball down on O. For all you old school CP Laxers out there, rules have changed over the years. No more keep it in the box at this point in the game, even under 2 minutes. Refs are much more likely to put the stall call on and give them a 30-second shot clock, but they have the whole field to work with.
Substitution for keeping it in the box has been that 30-second shot clock. So, as a coach, you'd want the refs to call that consistently throughout the game, but
but we all know it doesn't happen.
Well, we all know they're going to put it on a little earlier, later in the game, especially when the team up isn't looking to go to the cage.
And a game like this, where they've already called it on Grand Canyon 3-4 times, they're not going to hesitate to put it on again. And in fact, They could even put it on now. Two runs, nothing within 15 yards of the cage. Yeah, Grand Canyon, I think, just said run around the perimeter until they put the stall call on. That doesn't look like they have much interest in going to the cage at this point. Greniak may change that though. Drives up to his lefty wing. Nice backside feed.
Yeah, that was a great feed. Great.
And the stall call goes on.
Great handle there by Peterson to even catch that ball.
Yeah. Epstein just held his ground, and Peterson faded behind the goal. There's Snowbarger again, turnover waiting to happen. I called that one. I'll take credit for that. Horton finds Gosselin. Oh, a wonderful opportunity for the Mustangs. Gosselin had a little more time there than he realized. I think Hookham had already gone down to his knees or was headed low on that. If Gosselin would have just delayed that a little bit, he could have just poured that in over his shoulder with no problems. Give Hookham credit for guessing right in that case.
Imagine Grand Canyon will look to slow this down.
So now you're getting into crunch time. We're just under 3.5 minutes. Grand Canyon with the 1-goal game. That was a heck of an opportunity for the Mustangs on that transition. Gosselin, I'm sure he's going to want that one back tonight if Mustangs aren't able to pull off the comeback.
Yeah, as a young team playing in these close games early in the season definitely pays dividends later as you head toward the playoffs, where every team is going to be good. Every team is going to be giving you their best shot. And there's the shot clock on Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Yeah, they're asking for it. I mean, they're not even making a half-hearted attempt at the goal or sending over a shot 10 yards wide like some teams will do. Clark trying to do too much, running through the whole Mustang defense and gets dispossessed.
We got Sugo looking to push the ball over the midline.
Yeah, coach with the timeout with ball and Sugo stick. So we're at 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Plenty of time for the Mustangs to get a goal back and tie this up.
The Mustangs are definitely looking to tie this up here.
Timer.
I don't know, Coach. What do you think? Overtime?
I wouldn't mind a little overtime in the stadium. I don't know if any of you caught that U.S. women's hockey game the other night. You know, full 20 minutes of overtime.
Spoiler alert.
That is, there's nothing like sudden death. They may call it sudden victory in the rule book because of our millennial self-esteem issues, but we all know it's sudden death.
Sudden victory.
Sudden victory.
Looks like that was a little dig deep move by the Mustangs there.
Going for the dig deep. We'll see. I expect Grand Canyon to stay in the zone that they've been in for a good part of this game. It's been effective. I thought Cal Poly's possessions against the zone have looked better and better as the game wore on. So hopefully they have a plan to crack it, because it does look like Grand Canyon is right back into it.
Ball starts out on the right wing with Stickney.
So Yost not in there right now. He's got Hunter back on the wing. I like Yost on the against the zone just because he's got the shakes to kind of get the defense on their heels and ball watching a little bit. But
Yeah,
Coach going with Hunter.
You can still drive on a defense. You just want to drive in the right spots. Essentially pick the space in between the short stick defender and his pole, so that the pole has to support him, which causes the whole defense to rotate, and then you find the weakness in it.
Yeah, it's always the dilemma on the zone defense is Stickney with yet another unforced error. That is 4 or 5 for the night.
Coach Saurio's got his head in his hands on that pass.
1:37 left in the game. You know, Stickney's a real good alley dodger, good one-on-one defender, but he's shown some vulnerabilities against the zone tonight. He has struggled mightily. Solid defense from the Mustangs. Take the ball from Peterson. Plenty of time still, 1:12. Coach still has another timeout in his pocket if I recall.
Wendy's got the ball, looking to find his short stick.
Oh. Did he get the timeout? He got the timeout.
Coach Chabrio emphatically calls the timeout. As soon as you cross over that white line going the length of the field is when you can call that timeout, even if it's not inside the box. Even if you're in those outer alleys, you can still call it.
Yeah, there's almost no need for the box anymore since there's no keep it in call. You know, the timeouts is as soon as you get below the restraining line. But that was a big moment. 56 seconds left in the game. Cal Poly down by 1, and rest assured, you gotta assume that Grand Canyon's coming back in the zone defense because it's been effective.
I'm sure Stickney is looking for some redemption here.
Yeah.
We'll see what Coach Chabrio's got cooked up for the Mustang offense here.
You know, Horton's played mostly D transition today. I wouldn't mind seeing Horton in on a little crease. He's a great player on the crease, and I think I'd have to get Stickney out at this point. I mean, we're talking 3 straight turnovers. We'll see what Coach goes with. Yeah. Can't say I disagree with that move. So we got Sorelli, Hunter top center, Tregeezer, Gosselin, and Gokhale. Little down pick against the zone.
We got 42 seconds left. Mustangs are down 1, 7-6.
Burko's going to need to drive that guy and look for the dump. Look for the rollback.
30 seconds left.
Dawson with a strong move, but really not much of an angle. Not a lot of chance that one's going in.
24 seconds.
No timeouts for the Mustangs. They're going to have to do this one on their own. Gokhale with the move upfield. Looking for cutters, but it's a little stagnant behind him.
15 seconds.
Oh, now that was a good opportunity. 11 seconds. Gosselin with the shot, just missed wide. He had a chance at that one. Oh, Sorelli with the outside bouncer.
We got 4 seconds.
That might have beaten the goalie, but it was wide. Counting it! Mustangs getting a little luck on that one, people!
As time expires, the Mustangs tie the game.
Gokhale drove the wing, rolled back and took a extreme angled shot. He missed the shot, but Gosselin corralled it, caught it himself, and fired it right back in for the tie.
That was quite a play.
Nice reactions from Gosselin. It's not how you drew it up, but they'll take it every time.
The sophomore ties it up as we go into overtime.
All right, fans out there, YouTube land, you asked for the sudden death and you got it. So we'll go into, we'll have a short break here as the captains face off. We'll have a 4-minute period. First goal wins. Crowd likes it. I don't know, Coach, have you ever seen a shot that close to the buzzer for a tie?
That That was just about the closest you can get.
I don't think you can get any closer. I'm sure Coach Rapkin's not happy about that one. I think the restart after Sorelli's missed outside shot was at 4 seconds. So we had a drive up the pipe shot and then a rebound and another shot. But we trust that Mr. Kunzel and his staff got that call correct.
Refs may have given the Mustangs a benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah, that's it's a tough call. I believe it's the trail official's job to be checking the clock, but as long as I've been around this game, I haven't officiated, and when I have, even for youth games, you realize just how difficult it is. So
the refs get a bad time, but this is a tough game to officiate. A lot of stuff happens. Split second. This face-off is huge. I would imagine that the common strategy is for the team that wins the face-off. If there's not a break, to call a timeout, set up a play, and see if you can't win without giving the other team possession.
Yeah, each coach will have one timeout going into the 4-minute sudden death overtime. Most coaches tend to call it pretty early in the possession just to set up a play. Some will prefer to hold on to that timeout and use it if one of their players gets in trouble in the offensive end.
Looks like
McLafferty wins going forward, but can't get the ground ball.
Lamy picks it up, and Graniak steps it in.
Yeah.
Looks like Rapkin's going to let him play a little here.
Lamy's had a nice game on the wing. Good pick up there in a key moment.
Looks like the Lopes have all their offensive middies in. They look to set up their offense. Looks like Mustangs are coming out. Their standard man-to-man defense.
We got Whitney on Graniak. I'd be pretty shocked if the ball doesn't get into Graniak's stick at some point in this possession. And as we say that, there it is. The lefty dodging across the top.
Take the game right here.
Oh, and he hits the outside burner high, too
about
high.
14.
That's a tough way to go.
It's great placement on that shot.
Yeah, when Graniak, big lefty rip, big kid, uses his body, and he just kind of dodged into Whitney on that one and got some separation and let it fly. And he didn't miss. Tough way to lose for the Mustangs after tying it up with 1 second or less on the clock.
So that's the game, folks. 8-7. Grand Canyon takes it in overtime. The defending national champs start off the season 1-0 over the 11th ranked Mustangs.
Cal Poly falls to 2-2 on the season, and will only have 1 day to recover as they take on Arizona State here at home on Sunday.
Yeah, Arizona State will be another tough game for the Mustangs. It's a packed weekend here. It's the spring alumni weekend here for the Cal Poly alumni. Quite a few alumni in town to watch this game in the stadium. Great game by the Mustangs. Not the outcome we wanted, but certainly quite a lacrosse game.
It was. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll catch you next time. That was just too easy. I feel like too easy.